This is Kurt reporting from Santa Fe. We are looking at the Triumph Gloria SX, a very unique car. And here is the owner, Dale Will. Dale, can you tell us a little bit more about your car?
Sure. Triumph called them the Southern Cross because their primary market outside of England was in Australia. Of course, the Southern Cross is the dominant constellation in the Southern Hemisphere. This car was built in 1936. It is fitted with a Triumph 1.7 liter overhead valve engine with a cross-flow head. The last few of these Southern Crosses were fitted with this engine. The car was really designed by Donald Healey. Donald Healey was the technical director of Triumph during the 1930s, and he had done very well rallying, and Triumph hired him to bring a little more panache to the company, and this was the result. He wanted Triumph to have a sports car that could compete with Riley and SS and MG and some of the mid-priced English sports cars of the time. They were all hand-built. There was no mass production at Triumph before World War II. This car is one of about 20 survivors. For a long time it was the only one in the United States. There's now a few more here. It was restored in England in the late 1960s, and I've kept it up mechanically, but I haven't repainted it. It gets used quite hard. In fact, it's a bit dusty right now because we've just driven down from Colorado. We just put 800 miles on it in the last few days coming down through the mountains. So it does get used as it was intended, and it goes pretty well.
Now Dale is going to show us the engine, so he has to do a little bit of preparation work here. Oh, this comes straight up. That's really easy. Oh, wow. So you said the cubic inches is 1.8?
Yeah, 1767 cc's. And the earlier Glorias all had a Coventry Climax engine in them, but in 1936 Triumph introduced this overhead valve cross-flow engine that was their own design, more powerful than the Coventry Climax. They built these in both 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder versions, and this engine's been great. It goes right.
Now, this car has been to the Morgan Adams, correct?
Yes, it was displayed a few years ago, and I was parked next to some supercharged MGs and things. It fits in quite well with the other British sports cars from the 1930s. It's fun to show because a lot of people have never seen one before. They're pretty rare cars, and so it usually attracts some nice comments.
I know you have a whole collection of Triumphs. What inspired you to acquire this Gloria?
It was advertised in Hemmings Motor News back in the 1990s, and I'm kind of a Triumph nut, so I knew exactly what it was. I was surprised to see one in the United States. Most of the Triumph owners in the United States don't know that they built cars before World War II, so I was one of the few people to respond to the advertisement, and I flew out to Kentucky. The car was owned by a former race car driver, Andrew Rosenberger, and he was liquidating his collection at the time. I stayed with him on his farm in Kentucky and fell in love with the car. I had to have it. So it's been a great addition. I've got several post-war Triumphs, and I now have another Gloria. But this car has been a good one because it's very usable and does well in the mountains.
Well, thank you, Dale, for showing us the car. Hopefully we'll see you again at the Morgan Adams in the near future.
My pleasure. Thank you, Kurt.
Okay.